All right, it is your boy TGu right here, and we are about to do the Q&A. Hang on a second. This, guys, the matcha latte, man, it's pretty freaking good. It's just as good as Starbucks, but a lot cheaper. Anyways, all right, so let me bust out my phone. This is a sick phone case, is it not? I'm gonna go to the first we're gonna start off with the Instagram questions just because it's easy. It's right here. All right, and then I'll go to the questions that I got on YouTube. Really, there's not that many, so F me, right? No, just kidding. But this shouldn't take too long, hopefully. But then again, I kind of make some of the things that I say long and drawn out. So here we go. Let's just see what we have here then, shall we? Oh, the first time that I put this like on Instagram talking about how I'm taking questions or whatever, I got a lot of nice comments, like just congratulatory comments for making 2,500 subs. Not really questions, you know, but it was nice. Keep up the good work, congrats, etc, etc. We're gonna start with these Instagram questions, shall we? First question is from miss.blancaalicia. What is one thing you want to accomplish in life? One thing that I want to accomplish in life? That's a pretty difficult one. I mean, I don't know if I have like a specific, ooh, this thing about to fall over. I don't know if there's a specific thing that I want to accomplish in life. Like I can't think of one. Oh, here, I mean, if you want like a really obvious answer, it's like one day get married, I guess. You know, that's definitely a concrete thing that I definitely want to happen one day in life. But I can't really think of anything concrete for sure. I mean, mostly I would just say that I want to kind of live a happy life, you know, and not regret too many things, try many different things. Like that's the kind of life I want to live. I don't know if I have one that's a specific goal that I want to accomplish besides just having a family one day, I guess. Pretty basic, you know. Okay, next up, let's see. Yeah, Lauren Freeble with 5 questions. All right, I'm gonna give you two questions, Lauren, just because I'm nice, but you're supposed to just ask one. All right, I'm gonna go with 2 that are not ridiculous. So here, who's your favorite student in RP? That's the tennis academy that I work at. Someone held a gun to my head and said, choose your favorite. It'd definitely be Eli. Young guapo, you know, I freaking brought him over there and we're always doing stuff together, so yeah. But I mean, honestly, I like everybody there. So, second question from Lauren Freeble. How long have you been playing tennis? I've been playing since I was 13 years old, so 14 years, I guess. But I definitely took breaks in between there where I didn't play at all, so anyways, whatever. I'll say 14 years. Okay, next question from jaackymoraales. Do you miss your old 5th period class period? So this is talking about when I was teaching high school, and definitely, I mean, I kind of miss everybody at the school, you know, like teaching the classes and interacting with those students and stuff. That was like the best part of it. You know, I always said, it's kind of bad to say, but I didn't really care too much for the staff or admin there because not everybody, like there's some people that I liked, but there's a lot of people that were just very negative and kind of trying to like keep you down in a way, you know, and so I didn't really care for them, but I really did enjoy just interactions and being around like the kids every day. That's kind of what I did it for anyways. It's for the kids, you know. All right, next question. Emersonnnnnn. How does one become as swole and sexy as Coach TGu? Well, man, you're just born. No, just kidding. Because I used to be fat as crap. I mean, you just gotta honestly just. If I were to answer this question seriously, even though it's pretty joking, you know, it's definitely going to the gym and being consistent, and then, you know, if you want to get as aesthetic as I am, no, just kidding. You have to be pretty on point with your nutrition as well, because just because you're going to the gym, if your nutrition's not right, you're not gonna look as great as somebody who does have their nutrition on point. Okay. Guapo.eli, how long is your schlong? Okay, we're just gonna go to another question. Okay, he put another question. That's actually serious. What is the craziest clip that you have captured as a YouTuber? Craziest clip? That's pretty hard, like, just to think of the craziest clip. I mean, the thing that really, I guess, that I caught that moved me the most was recording this Diablo performer that I really like looked up to, and I guess, yeah, the recording a Diablo performer that I really looked up to when I was living in Japan, you know, because that was one of the big reasons I wanted to go to Japan. I wanted to attend this street performance festival and see this guy perform, and then the first time like seeing him live and being able to like record him, and just like I remember being very moved. I was like, man, this is literally like a dream come true. Wow, my heart is beating. Really excited to see this. This is like, holy crap, I've been watching him on YouTube since like I was in America high school, you know, and now I'm seeing him in real life. Holy crap! Back in the day, if you asked me what's one thing I want to accomplish, I'd say that, but now I've done it, so yeah, that was really cool. Bastion C982, follow for follow? Definitely not. Sorry. 2 questions here from boythatslys. I'll give her the 2 since Lauren also got 2. Okay, do you miss Klein Oak? That's the high school that I work at, and yes, of course I miss it. I miss, as I already said, like, you know, being in the environment, working with the kids and stuff, teaching really, but I don't miss the staff necessarily. And okay, and then the other question she had was, what was hard about being the teacher? And what was hard about being the teacher? As much as I will make complaints about how things are run and organizational things, possibly, I'll say the hardest part though is just your lack of personal time. For me, it was definitely like balancing work and my own life, because, you know, when your work is affecting a bunch of people where it could shape their future, you know, that means a lot to me. So I put a lot of myself into that. And just doing that, I really definitely didn't put my own physical health, or maybe even mental health as a priority. You know, I was sleeping 3 to 4 days, and I was sleeping 3 to 4 hours each night. Like, that's it. And I was skipping a lot of gym. You know, wasn't really doing the things that I enjoyed as much, just so I could do what I thought was good for my work, which was, you know, this teaching high school students. So definitely it was that balance that was the most difficult thing for me, I would have to say. Next, 24/7 say, let's get to business, cause I got no time for your Where'd you hide my millennium eye? Spit it out. I don't know, probably somewhere in Egypt or something. Tendilla 10, when did you start practicing Diabolo? So I started practicing Diabolo pretty much like the same time that I started practicing tennis, I think. Hang on a second, I'm getting thirsty up in here. Yeah, so I started practicing Diablo about the same time that I started practicing tennis, about when I was going into the 8th grade. Okay, Rob Wong, tips for learning Japanese, and also any recommendations for things to see/do for someone visiting Japan. Okay, let me start off with the easy one. Recommendations for things to see or do when someone visits Japan. If you're going there, I think it's around November or so, in Shizuoka Prefecture, there's a street performance festival. It's free to go watch like all these street performers perform. You can obviously give them money afterwards and stuff like that, kind of like busking, but it's such a nice atmosphere. Like, everyone's doing something and trying to show off their own skills, you know. Just like the whole city is kind of like shut down. The streets are shut down so that way they can set up stages around the city. And there's a bunch of performers everywhere from all over the world. It's just super cool. And like I said already earlier in this video, that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to go to Japan. One of my big interests for Japan was I wanted to go and see that street performance festival. And I did it, and it was really cool. So that's definitely, like, if I had to say one thing that I would say somebody should go to in Japan, it would be that. Okay, and then tips for learning Japanese. I mean, obviously, tips for learning Japanese, I mean, of course, study it, right? Study it, but if you want to maybe get a better idea of how to sound smooth or what kind of words people actually use, like definitely watch TV shows, watch dramas, Drama's more a little realistic because, in anime and stuff like that, it's like those, you don't really necessarily talk like they do in anime, you know what I mean? But the biggest way that you can improve your Japanese is just talking to a Japanese person, right? So, but it's kind of weird, like, typically you don't find a Japanese friend, you're like, hey, just talk to me in Japanese every day. Like, that doesn't really happen necessarily. The biggest thing that helped me, honestly, was I had a Japanese girlfriend, and we would Skype every day. We Skyped every day for like 2 years or something like that, almost every single day for at least an hour, and just speaking Japanese, English, whatever during that time. That helped boost my like smoothness, not like smooth like the moves, maybe that too, but like how smooth I spoke, how it came out naturally, didn't have to pause so much. That helped me the most. I mean, if you find yourself a Japanese girlfriend, it's pretty much over. You're gonna be better than everybody. You'll get a huge boost. Speaking is the best way. Oh snap! Oh my gosh, we got one in Japanese. What a coincidence! So I just got a question about learning Japanese, and now I have one question that's in Japanese from Yuya669. It says, "好きなことわざは何?" which means like, what is a phrase? What is an expression that you like? So. 多分、日本語のことわざは好きなことわざはないけど、英語なら多分ナイキの Just Do It、自分の人生は本当に Just Do It で生きているから、それは多分一番大事なことわざ。So now let's go to the questions that we got on YouTube. So we're almost done here actually. Oh, these are some, okay, wow. These are some good, okay, YouTube, we got some good questions. All Around Mike says, wow, that's awesome. So what are you doing now and what are your plans for the future? So what am I doing now? I am my main full-time job, I guess it's called full-time just because that's what I do most consistently, is I am a tennis coach at a tennis academy. But I also do like private coaching, travel coaching, whatever. And then on the side, I do like Diabolo performances and things like that. I'll do tutoring as well if people ask me, but mostly it's just the tennis coaching. So yeah. What are your plans for the future? I mean, honestly, I don't really know. I don't know exactly yet, just because, I took this time off to kind of really just relax a little bit. And yeah, just get it, because the teaching thing kind of like really burned me out, for like 2 years. So for the future though, I feel like I want to do something with tennis, but we'll see. I'm not exactly sure yet. yjken asks, favorite things about teaching. If I can kind of change a kid's life, or shape their future in a positive way, that's definitely one of my favorite things about teaching. Just that sense of like, that provides me satisfaction in a way. Like, that makes me really happy, just because that's what my tennis coach did for me, some of my teachers did for me when I was a high school student. They really shaped how I am and my future, how I lived really. So if I can do that for some, young upstarts, then that's my favorite thing. From Luke, I don't know how to say his last name, sorry. Luke Wojciuch. When are we going to see more TGu gaming? Unfortunately, that's probably not gonna happen just because I don't have that much time. Not that I don't have that much time, it's that I don't make gaming a priority anymore. I'm always doing like a lot of physical things outside. So honestly, that might not happen. Sorry, Luke. Next, Herbert Sa. Only just found your channel. Would like to hear a bit about your backstory and how you came to be working in Japan. So I'm trying to shorten it while giving enough backstory. So in college, I had to take a language class. It was either gonna be Chinese or Japanese. I chose Japanese. And then also, I perform, I performed Diabolo, and my favorite Diabolo performers were Japanese people. And I saw them at this street performance festival on YouTube, right? And I thought, how cool would it be if one day I can go to Japan, go to that street performance festival, but actually know Japanese. So if by chance I get to talk to them, I'll be able to communicate with them. That would be sick. And so pretty much I did really well in Japanese class in college, and my professors were like, yo, you should totally do this thing called JET program, where you go to Japan. It's got a government agreement kind of thing, and you'll teach English over there in Japan in the high schools. And so I applied for that, I got it eventually, and that's pretty much my backstory of how I came to be teaching, working in Japan. So I did that for 3 years, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Next question is from acatinny. You have been back to Japan every year since you left there. That is very, very perceptive. Have you thought about living and working there again? I know you do not want to teach English, but there are many foreigners there who work in other fields as well. I assume it is not very easy to find one, but it's worth a shot at least to do some research. I have seen some videos of foreigners who work as a gym instructor or a stunt performer. That's interesting. So, I mean, obviously me going back there, it's definitely because I miss it and I have a lot of friends there. And you're right, I don't really want to teach English again just because it's kind of, I've been there, done that, and I'm all about living different kinds of things. And actually, I did for a while look into like maybe being a personal trainer at a gym or something like that over there, but I don't know, like I have a lot of things going for me right here, right now with the tennis and everything, and one of the big things is just over here at the moment, I want to keep competing in tennis. It's a lot harder in Japan, believe it or not, especially because like there's almost no public courts, like just free public courts. So, I've definitely thought about doing some kind of job back over there in Japan, but for now I think I want to be here for work anyways, for work. Here comes the last question of the day from Subject Blue. As someone who has a fascination with Japanese culture, I always find myself searching out. This is a long question. So basically the question is, what are some differences between US and Japan that might interest somebody who really is interested in Japanese culture and not like obvious stuff? So let's see. I don't really know what kind of answer you're looking for, but for me, something that's really different for me here and there is so you mentioned how like students in Japan have much more responsibility, but students over here also have a lot of responsibility if they're trying to really excel. You know what I mean? It's just that people are lazy and they don't really care. However, we do try to make it easier for them. We enable them. But then another big thing, a big difference is the teacher's role here and the teacher's role there. Here, teachers can literally, because I know this because I was a high school teacher, right? Teachers can BS their way and just work at a high school, collect their paycheck, get benefits and stuff. They don't have to do like anything. Like it's you can be the worst teacher and still collect your paycheck, get paid. You're not gonna really get fired unless you do something crazy like freaking have sexual relations with a student, whatever, something like that, But like that's not gonna fly in Japan. If you're absolute garbage and you're just not doing your job, like not caring for the kids and everybody hates you, and then you're probably gonna get fired or something like that. You're gonna get moved at least to a different school because over there, you don't get to work. First of all, you don't get to choose the school you work at. You apply to a prefecture, and they'll put you in a school, whether it be middle school, high school. You don't have a choice. And every few years, like 2 or 3 years, you get moved to a different school. You never get to stay unless you have you're like one of the older people. You get to stay. But almost everybody that I worked with in Japan, they get moved. You get moved every 2 or 3 years. So it's kind of sad to see people get moved. It's like, you've created such a good bond with the students there, with the staff there, and then you just get moved, to another school in the same prefecture. And maybe that has to do with the fact that teachers in Japan, move grade levels with their students. So you as a teacher are staying with that same group of students up until they graduate. You start with them when they're freshmen, and you move up with them until they graduate. So I feel like a teacher in Japan definitely has a way bigger role, role that they're supposed to fulfill, that they kind of have to fulfill up until that student graduates. Whereas here in America, it's like you don't have to know any of your kids. You don't have to give a crap about any of your kids. That's just how it is, guys. For me, it's like, yeah, I care a lot about my students, but you can hate all your students and it doesn't matter. But in Japan, it's like you're gonna be with them for 3 years. You're gonna be kind of like their mentor, their role model in a way, but you're gonna be guiding them through a lot of things. There's constant parent-teacher conferences. You have to do house visits, things like that. And that's just really different than here. And I kind of feel like, you know, of course there must be some kind of negative part. Like it's a lot of work for the teachers over there. But in the end, I think it is probably, in some ways, it has to be beneficial for the student, I feel like. Yeah. Anyways, that's just a huge difference for me, you know. Like when I came here and I worked here and I saw all the teachers, like some teachers who will not be named, but it's like, yeah, some teachers that I saw, it's like they didn't give a crap, honestly, you know. They seemed tired of working there. They're just there to collect paychecks, and to me that was a little shocking. All right, so that was the last question. That's gonna be it for the Q&A, guys. This, once again, you know, thank you so much for the 2,500 subs. It's pretty crazy. Let's just put a goal out there just to say it, you know, let's say 5K by the end of this year. If I reach 5K by the end of this year, that'd be pretty sick. That's gonna end this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!